Hi everyone, welcome to Carmen's Australian Storytime. Today I am at the Roma Street Parklands and it is a beautiful sunny morning, and I thought what a beautiful place to read a book today. And I'm reading The Stew That Grew. This book is written by Michael and Rhonda Gray, and illustrations are by Janet Bridgeland. I like all these colourful illustrations. Let's see what the blurb has to tell us. In the 1850s, that is a very long time ago, thousands of people from all parts of the world are lured to the goldfields of Australia. Few of them find their fortune, but in this humorous verse story, many discover the value of friendship and sharing. Encouraged by Molly O'Drew and her husband Blue, a luckless group of hungry miners combine their meagre food supplies to create a fabulous Christmas stew. And I think that's the Australian spirit. When everyone needs something, we all just get together and give. Whoa, these are great illustrations, aren't they? In the days before our cities were old, thousands of people went bush seeking gold. A rhyming book. There were teachers and tinkers, bakers and gents who rushed from the cities to put up their tents. Didn't have houses to live in then. They came from all parts by ship, horse or train, and most were still poor when they went home again. But many found something more valued and true. That Christmas they brewed the Eureka Stew. Four potatoes began it all, wrinkled and withered, sprouting and small. Hauled from the pockets of Molly O'Drew, she threw them across to her husband Blue, who peeled their skins and plopped them in a huge smoke-blackened iron cauldron. Not much of a feast, laughed Molly to Blue, but if others put in, we could make a great stew. Look at all the different nationalities of people who came to look for gold. 21 diggers sat hungry and tired, circling a fire as they quietly perspired. Because remember, we're in Australia, it's pretty hot. Some looked mournful, some just scowled. Some told jokes, but their bellies all growled. Then Molly stepped into their midst and said, I know of a way we can all be fed. Put what you've got in that pot next to Blue, and together we'll make our own Christmas stew. Good idea, but I wonder what's going in the stew. Do you? O'Malley came first to add 3 more spuds, and 2 spongy carrots offered the ruds. Not sounding great so far, is it? Well, they sure look tasty, said Blue with a grin, as he chopped them to pieces and bounced the lot in. Can you see hiding in amongst the bottle brush here? There's an echidna. I like it. So many things going on in these pictures when you have a good look. 2 leeks turned up taffy, a turnip gave Nell, which gave the brew body and gusto as well. Yep, leeks and turnips, they're great things to put in stews. Let's fling in this barley, piped up old Hugh, just to give it the taste of a wee Highland stew. Now the Scotsman putting his bit in. Barley's going to make it a little bit thicker, so it's going to start to look like a bit more like a stew now. It's getting better. Next, Olaf parted with 2 battered Swedes, which he swore were the cause of those brave Viking deeds. So he's saying that if you eat your Swedes, you're going to be big and strong like a Viking. And Leopold counted out 5 Brussels sprouts, which he guessed added zest, though Blue had his doubts. Oop, here's another Australian animal, frill-necked lizard. Yeah, I have to agree. Brussels sprouts in a stew? I don't know. Even though I like Brussels sprouts. Most people don't. More tang's what it needs, sang Maria Mazzini, enriching the stew with 2 striped zucchini. This is sure to be different. But what else, thought Blue, with the weird mob we've got brewing this stew? I'll say. Oh, look, we've got cockatoos now, parrots. Can you see any other animals that I've missed? Then Heinrich and Hans, who'd been standing about, said, "You're welcome to use this sauerkraut." Oh, okay, well that's going to add flavour. And Jacques tossed in onions and Raphael some more, as well as some beets which he liked to eat raw. I don't know, raw beetroot? But this stew's sounding pretty good right about now. And it just started with how many potatoes? Can you remember? 4 potatoes. The gift of an eggplant offered Alec, while Abdul proffered up cloves of garlic. Now, this is sounding like a very multicultural stew, isn't it? People from everywhere in this digging mining town. Well, I'll be a bunyip, thought Bluey O'Drew. I reckon we're making the Eureka stew. Bet it's smelling good now. Then Texan Pete tipped in beans from 2 cans, and pumpkin appeared from Laszlo and Franz. A bagful of peas brought by Wong the Chinese were stirred with the peppers of Miguel Cortez. I don't know. How are they fitting all of this in the pot? There's a lot of stuff in this pot now. Along with his family came Johnny Barcoo with yams and the tail of a red kangaroo. Now there's the taste of Australia, said Blue. That's sure to make it a fair dinkum stew. Okay, so they've got a little bit of meat in there. Oh, there he is bringing the tail. Okay, well, were you expecting it to be a big tail like that? I think now they're ready to feed the whole army. What do you reckon? Although, look how many people there are. This has to be the biggest pot ever of stew. Next, parsnips, celery, and mushrooms galore were poured in that pot, but more was in store. A digger who'd just struck it rich, a rich vein of gold, arrived with more beef than the huge pot could hold. Yeah, I don't know how they're fitting all this in. And a hare half the size of that iron tureen was coaxed from Jack Lincoln, who'd poached from the Queen. Poaching, stealing. Then the last thing of all was cast in by Blue, but just what it was, nobody knew. What do you think he's throwing in? I'm going to guess, I'm going to predict it's salt. What do you think? But I don't know how this pot is holding all of this food. And I don't know about all of that stuff mixed together. What are you thinking? I guess we'll never know, will we? Some said it was magic, as the pot boiled and bubbled, for the more Molly served, the more the stew doubled. Its aroma drifted far over the mines, till soon there were diggers queued up in long lines. Oh boy, check out this line. And what a sight! Look at all of the people from all over the world at the mines. And the spirit of giving, which filled the black pot, now somehow miraculously fed the whole lot. And all who were there on that Christmas, I'm told, claimed their Eureka stew was much better than gold. They're having a big party, and I have to agree. Look at all those people getting along and sharing and caring about each other and having a great time. And that is the end of the Eureka stew. That grew and grew enough for all of you. Thank you for joining me on Carmen's Australian Storytime, and I look forward to reading to you again soon. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Bye for now.